Yes,
Hello
guys.
there, guys.
Well, hang
Welcome
on.
back.
What's going on here?
No,
We're starting. Who's starting? It's 6-6. We don't know who's starting. We're not allowed to start the video. We have to boycott.
We have to. Oh, all right. Thanks for watching, guys. Good night.
We'll do a Eunice after post-match review. Left his bedroom.
I left. What was there to talk about? Nothing.
I mean, it was a good idea. I was watching. I was like, I really hope he stays out there for like 2 minutes.
I considered it. I did consider it.
Because it would have been good. People would have stayed and watched it forever.
I know they actually would have.
No, he's got to come back.
People in the comments going, it would have been good if he actually just left for a little bit. Like,
That's the most angry I've seen you for a while.
it's the most angry I felt for a while.
Do you know what the second most angry is that I felt for a while?
What?
Tottenham!
Oh, mate.
I've had enough. I need them gone.
Have a day off. League One at this rate, not even the Championship, but go down to League One.
I think when you've got a stadium that's that nice, it should be like a video game, like Crash Bandicoot, Mario, double points. You should drop 2 leagues.
They'll be happy to host that, by the way. Tottenham would be like, yeah, let's host a Crash Bandicoot event to make up for lost revenue.
They've probably got one of those on today. The retractable pitch disappears, and then all of a sudden they got like a Crash Bandicoot exhibit.
Exactly. Yeah.
An exhibit that you should honestly. Tottenham Hotspur Stadium or whatever. What is it called?
Tottenham Hotspur Stadium.
Yeah.
Yeah, they ain't got a sponsor.
Just do like washed up music artists. Just do.
I'd be there, bro.
There's a couple of people I go and watch
like who?
there. Busted. Do Busted. Do McFly. Just do all the boy bands. JLS. And then you know what? If you're really lucky, you can have
you're just gonna get 50-year-old single women showing up.
Better than what goes on the pitch at this point. Mate, I'm telling you now, there's 2 layers to this cake. There's the Arsenal layer, which is like, it's quite tasty yesterday. Just hold my hands up, they were great. But Tottenham, I despise them more than ever.
I want to say, like, no, I thought Arsenal were okay. Like, they picked up the pieces. It was on a plate.
They were clinical,
you know what I mean?
Yeah,
and they took it, and fair play to them. But Tottenham was just horrific, bro. Like, really, really bad.
The one thing I'll say in their defence is they could actually field an 11 of injured players.
That's true.
Which I think has to be, from a footballing level, we can talk about hate and despise and all these words, but truly, it's incredible the amount of injuries they have. But at the same time, the performances are just so poor. Like, the only touch they had in the Arsenal box was the goal, and that was a mistake, which is actually almost comical, really. Declan Rice doing his team talk and rallying the troops, and then, boom, 28 seconds later. Mistake.
That's Marty Rice.
Yeah, that was burnt rice.
Burnt rice.
That was the lady in my apartment building the other day. This is mad. She burnt the rice in the pan and then blamed the security. I'm like, she fell asleep apparently. They're like, why didn't it warn me before? I'm like, well, that's the whole point of a fire alarm.
What is it with these people around here and burning rice? Like,
bro, I don't understand. Like, you have one job.
Yeah, you got one job, bro.
Don't burn the rice, lady, please. But yeah, Declan did burn himself a little bit there.
Yeah.
But we've spoken about this before, and I said at one point, Tottenham will be within 3 points of the relegation zone. We're already almost there. And I literally couldn't have said that any sooner. They are 4 points ahead of West Ham. They go to Fulham at the weekend. They are not winning there. They're just not. Fulham are a good team. We'll talk about them later in this video. It's a genuine possibility that they're going to get relegated, isn't it? And it's not an exaggeration.
Yeah, now it actually is, properly. I said this, like, when we're talking about a team like Tottenham, even now, there's going to be people that think, they're too good to go down. Like, but no, it genuinely is at a point now where, no, they can go down.
Did you see what Jamie Redknapp said?
No. So
the show was basically done. Like, they were having to quickly speed it up on Sky Sports to finish it. He's like, I can't tell you why, but they just won't go down. Because that's the mentality right now. Is it's Tottenham. It's impossible.
They're too big. There's teams that are worse off, and to an extent during the season, I'd agree. But now I'm looking at Tottenham and I'm saying you're playing like a relegated team.
Yeah,
you're not playing like a team that's just they're all right, and there's teams that are below you that are just worse. Like, no, you're playing as bad as Wolves right now.
I've read a book. It's about like how long it takes for habits to settle in.
Oh,
and I
go on.
believe the number is either 63 or 68. And in whether it's 63 days or 68 days, the league is pretty much done at that time. And I don't know if you saw Tudor's interview, but his answers to the questions were, I don't know.
Yeah, literally.
And he's talking like, this is not a bad team. And he was actually correct. I don't think it's a bad team of players. I don't think it would be the best team ever to go down.
He said it's a good team with bad habits.
Correct.
Yeah.
And it takes a long time to create new habits, so I don't see how he's going to turn this around.
Well,
he looks like the most uninspiring geezer ever.
Exactly.
He looks like an extra in like a Humpty Dumpty musical. Do you know what I mean?
No, you're spot on. You're spot on. He looks like he's someone. He looks like a supply teacher.
He does. We're being really mean to a geezer who's
And
literally just
there's
arrived in
nothing
England.
wrong with
but
him.
This is England, right? This is what we do in the Premier League. You up for scrutiny before you play or before you manage.
Mate, I said this in my video yesterday. Tottenham are the only club that don't get a new manager bounce. They get a capitulation instead.
It's ingrained.
Bro,
it's woven.
This is the history of the Tottenham.
There it is.
Actually, this is it, bruv. When Chiellini said those words, right? I don't think people understood how much weight that actually holds.
Yeah.
Like, it's poetry. It's actually football poetry.
Yeah.
Those words are ingrained in gold, and they're never coming out. Like that. This defines Tottenham as a football club and how they function. You could get whatever they actually need, and they still won't be able to function because it's Tottenham. Problem is now they're heading in the direction of we could actually get relegated, and it doesn't look like anyone's going to do anything to stop it. That's the problem.
Yeah.
Tudor's coming out and saying what's correct. Yeah, they do look. They are good players with bad habits, but Tottenham are a so-called Big Six club that are playing like a relegation team. So
I think their biggest hope, and again, this isn't. I've been saying this for weeks. I think they could go down, but I think their biggest hope is that either Forest or West Ham just fall off
exactly.
because the fixtures. At this point, again, I've got to get my head out of the idea of it's Spurs, they'll be okay, because that's not true anymore. They've got almost everybody that they've still got players above them in the table.
Exactly.
They've got teams that they've got Forest, which will be huge because that could be a shootout almost. But I look at Forest. I watched Forest yesterday.
All right.
They were good. They were better than Liverpool.
Yeah.
Liverpool did not deserve that
Liverpool
at all.
Yeah.
But we'll talk about them in due course. But I think when I look at the players, like Van der Ven, I don't think had a bad game, but just the whole thing is so void of energy. When Arsenal, there was David Raya almost came up and took a free kick in the Tottenham half at 3-1. And the substitutions baffle me. You're losing at home to your biggest rivals, and the gaffer brings off the striker who scored a goal and scored almost a good enough second goal, and he brings him off for Richarlison. Like,
What does that do?
nothing.
Nothing.
Like, it's like for like.
Yeah.
And we can talk about this in the Chelsea sense. I've got a theory I want to explore with you later in this video. But for Arsenal, there's a couple of things I want to talk about first of all. First one is a little dig. Gabriel. This guy is an on-pitch criminal who gets away with everything. Everything. And I mean, like, yeah, he's a big lad, he's a strong lad. But I don't understand how this guy, game by game, watch next week against Chelsea. Any time the ball's in the box, our striker won't be allowed to move and Gabriel will get away with it. He's got his hands all over people 24/7.
It's true. I don't know how he does that. Like, and actually gets away with it.
It's
He
mental.
never gets stopped. It's true. It's never even a foul. When it's clearly a foul, it's never even a foul. That is true. Overall, what baffles me about Tottenham is for a game like this, of this magnitude, against these opponents, right? Your North London rivals, like the team you despise the most, right? And you're meant to come out for this fixture with all guns blazing, backs against the wall, fighting relegation here, trying to stop Arsenal from winning the title. I mean, you don't need any more motivation. Like, you literally don't. And they showed up to what looked like a pre-season friendly.
Yeah.
Just nothing, man. This is why I say Arsenal were there to pick up the pieces, because it was so easy with the space that they were given. Tottenham just nothing. No energy. Stupid mistakes. I mean, they couldn't even control a ball properly at points. Couldn't even get past one player, or or make the right decision when you're trying to advance with the ball, or even just pass to a guy that's 2 yards in front of you. Like, just really bad. But it's basic. You could say it's League One stuff.
I think the players just don't care. And that's when we say the history of the Tottenham, I think that is literally, this is the culmination of what that is. You've got a club there that, yeah, they'll pay decent wages to players. Maybe not the best of the best, but they'll pay good enough wages. They got to a Champions League final. They nearly won a Premier League. As a result of that, you've got a beautiful big stadium. You can attract good players. You can attract the idea of what it could be. When you look at, if Conor Gallagher in January is looking at this Tottenham team, he's like, yeah, I reckon I can get in that team. Yeah, there's some good players around me there. We could do something. But then when reality hits you and you play once a week, twice a week, you actually realise, what's the point? What is the point? All of these players, like Van de Ven could play. He could play for Arsenal. He could get in the Arsenal team, I think, at left back, probably. He could play for any team in the Premier League if he wants to. He don't care, really, what happens at Spurs. I don't think. I look at a lot of those players. A lot of those players could play for good Premier League teams and fit in nicely. What's the point at Tottenham anymore? What's the point?
This is the problem. I think there's a big problem when you've got players, or not just players, at Tottenham it's the culture and it's the club. When you've got, ideally, you want everyone to be completely up for everything and together and showing that positive emotion. Alternatively, you could get a team where things are kicking off or things are not so good and players are showing emotion, they're angry, they're frustrated, The worst thing that can happen is when there's nothing.
Yeah.
When there's just no emotion.
It's like when the TV's on, but you've got no sound or no screen.
Nothing.
Awful.
It's
not TV anymore.
when you've got nothing being shown, it's dead. That's Tottenham. You could get other teams that are not maybe where they're meant to be and players are frustrated and things are not good. You can say it's a crisis, but at least there's something. There's a level of, there's players that are pissed off, or there's something. With Tottenham, there's nothing.
Based on everything you're saying, let me just see. Oh yeah, it's arrived actually. Just check to your left.
Amazing. Okay, so Tottenham Hotspur. Actually, whoever wants to pay their respects, feel free. We have a new visitor to the graveyard. And it's Tottenham Hotspur.
We've ordered them a nice grave, just to be semi-respectful for the history of the Tottenham. Ish. Come on.
Just for that slogan, that's it.
Yeah.
They ain't got no history. So that's okay. We'll get some of the old ones now come into the comments going, actually, I was there in 1946. Anyway. The grave is here. A very nice polished grave to suit a fantastic, spaceship stadium that you don't have. I don't want to look at Wolves. Like that's
it's not, a very sad case.
It's not looking good, bruv. Burnley, we had to do some renovations over the weekend because they looked like they were trying to come out of it.
We've torn their patch up and put Spurs in there instead.
Yeah, welcome Tottenham. Welcome. Whoever wants to pay their respects, open 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Actually, 6 days a week. They need a day off sometimes.
They do. It's so bad. But Arsenal, Victor Gyökeres got man of the match. He was very good, I thought.
Yes.
Everything.
Would it have been him or Eze, do you think? Who deserves it more?
I think Gyökeres is better.
Yeah.
Personally.
Yeah.
He was just smart. Like, he constantly knew who to probe, where to, direct his runs. Like, don't go towards Van de Ven because he's good. Go towards Dragusin. Go towards Palhinha because they can't defend.
They couldn't defend yesterday, bro.
But it's simple equations, isn't it? Like, they're bad, I can be good, so I'll go towards the bad ones, and then guess what? I'll be good.
And
that's literally all he had to do.
Yeah. Loads of space given. Great goals, though.
Oh, brilliant.
Especially the second goal. The first goal, I was still technically, all right, Gyökeres did everything perfect, but how did that go in? Do you know what I mean?
The ball, it was Saka with the pass, and it just somehow, how have you managed to... It's a great pass.
It is.
In all credit to Saka. Yeah. But it was... Did that not go as a Saka assist? I'm looking here now. It didn't go down as a Saka assist. It must have deflected somewhere. But, Tottenham, there's, the gaps that you see
It's criminal.
Arsenal it was smart from Arteta, I think, really, because he just knew what to do. The Eze movement as well. Like, yes, Eze scored 2 goals, which were good goals, but the movement to allow the space for Victor Gyökeres was fantastic.
The second goal for Gyökeres as well, I thought that was good. Like,
Yeah.
When he managed to, hold himself over the defender, gain a couple of yards in stride, and great placement top corner.
Aesthetically pleasing finishes, weren't they?
Yeah.
But for Arsenal now, it's still not really. It's in their hands, yeah, of course, because they're 5 points clear. City win that game in hand against Palace, I think, which they should win. That's 2 points, but they've also got to play at the Etihad, which
It's in both of their hands.
yeah.
Ironically, it's in both of their hands.
I looked at the fixtures though. I feel like Arsenal's fixtures are quite simple, and I look at the teams there. I'm like, yeah, they're playing a lot of teams in the middle of the pack that probably won't be able to get Europe and won't go down. Which at this point of the season, like we've said a couple of times now, there's a lot of teams with a lot of things at stake. So the more of those you've got to play, the more likely you are to find a little banana skin to slip up on.
Yeah, you never know. You never know. Although with Arsenal, I don't know if it's going to be those sort of teams that can cause some sort of issue for them. I can say the same for City, to be honest. But it's going to be interesting because I've got a weird feeling that we're going to see silly points dropped in maybe a game or two.
I said
Don't
that,
know
didn't
against who, yeah.
I think they're going to crawl over. And a cup's a cup. Trophy's a trophy. Premier League's Premier League. Doesn't matter how you win it. If you win it on goal difference, they won't care.
Exactly.
Those Arsenal fans in the away end yesterday, I've got a couple of mates who are Arsenal fans. It looked mental.
Yeah.
Like, proper. Do you know what I mean? Like, fair play.
They were on it.
They were.
Properly.
Big time. Should we move on to their closest rivals in the Premier League? Man City?
Absolutely. This was a correct score prediction.
That was a very good one. Very nice.
To be fair, you got the Arsenal-Tottenham one.
I did say 4-1.
He did say 4-1. I don't know how you've pulled that one out of the back. Actually, it's Tottenham.
It's basic maths, mate.
It is.
You're rubbish. All right, cool. I plucked a number out of thin air. I almost said 6.
Multiplied by Spurs
Yeah.
equals 4-1
Yeah,
loss.
2-1 times 2.
But yeah, City Newcastle. How can I describe this? It looked routine, but the result wasn't very routine. I think it's pretty much to what we said in the preview. Like, Newcastle would actually show up and give something. It just wasn't enough.
No.
And City did actually have, overall, I think, a lot more control. But they were just clinical.
Haaland was excellent.
Yeah.
And that was probably the best game I've seen him play for a long time where he hasn't scored.
I agree.
And that's been a problem, I think, for him. When he's not scoring, a City scoring, a City firing. And City's form now is pretty ominous for everybody. And it's at that time.
It's the sweet spot.
Yeah. And we've said this all season, so it's only fair and important now that we bring it up. When Pep gets this winning machine oiled and ticking, he is the most premium oiler that there is. If that's a word for someone who can, oil the machine. Pep knows what to do. But I want to ask you something. Nico O'Reilly scoring 2 goals.
He smashed it.
He's got to be on the plane if the World Cup even happens.
At this rate.
At this rate, bloody hell.
Yeah. Yeah.
I put him at left back, mate.
I'm trying to think. Who've England got a left back?
Luke Shaw?
It's true. It's a position where it's definitely up for grabs.
Lewis Hall.
That's another one. But to be honest, no. With O'Reilly, this is where I want to praise City, right? Because someone like O'Reilly, and I'll also throw another name in there, Mark Gurhey, who came out after the game, and you rate Mark Gurhey.
Yes, I do.
Many will. But even he came out and said, not only am I still adapting, but things are done different here. Things are on a higher level. I'm even learning how to move the ball in certain ways. I'm being guided because there's things I need to get up to scratch with. This is Mark Gurhey talking.
Yeah, he's experienced centre-half.
And he's saying like there's players around him that are showing him the ropes and allowing him to adapt and elevate, because what he was experiencing at Palace different gravy compared to what he's experiencing at City.
There's levels.
There's levels to this. And O'Reilly, I think, is a product of that.
Yes.
Who is now coming into his own, hitting a certain standard and a certain level where, I mean, you saw even not just the fact that he advanced in the way that he advanced, but the decisiveness to take the chances that he had, especially the first goal. I mean, to be able to go into that position and take a shot in that manner, with that confidence at his age, is plausible.
I think it's also a big credit to Pep that he's able to remove players' names who you think, yeah, these are the best players, like Cherky not starting, Foden not starting. He's finding that balance between, yeah, people might want to see all of these like exciting players, but he's finding that gap between pragmatism and actually ensuring that Man City can go and win while still introducing those players. You know, Cherky comes off the bench, Foden comes off the bench. The second half, Newcastle had chances, so he had to bring those players off the bench just in case they needed to go ahead and score. And again, a manager, when the game is poised with 1-goal leads, right? You don't always have to bring on all the centre-backs. You could bring on your exciting play. You could. Just saying. Just saying.
You want another point? We'll talk about it later as well. But I find it funny how City, with minutes to go, right, are technically in a position to protect a 2-1 lead because it's very, very important. And I don't see them going to the corner flag.
No, I don't either.
They chase a third goal. And
Like
they
we said,
actually
there's
want to go
levels.
in, and there's levels to this, but they know how to defend properly. Anyway, we'll talk about us in a bit. But
We will. We'll get to Chelsea.
We need
because
therapy.
This is basically a podcast today. I already know that this is going to be a long episode. But let's move on to Liverpool first.
Oh, can I say real quick about
Yes,
City?
you can.
You're right in saying about the players and the way that they use certain individuals in certain games is the balance that Pep has, where it's not based on the individual that he's got, it's based on what he wants to deploy against certain opposition. And everyone's on board. There's not like, okay, this player's not playing today, he's got an issue with it or anything. There's none of that going on. Everyone's on board and everyone's together. And the way that they clawed out that result in the end, even after letting in the equaliser, minutes later they got the second goal. And that's proper mentality.
Yeah, they were very good. Very good indeed. Liverpool weren't good.
Liverpool weren't good.
And they somehow managed to get a win. And that could end up being a huge win. Because they've now won their last 3 games. They've won 5 out of their last 6 in all competitions. So it seems like they're back in some respects. You know, they think they've gone from being that team that were just losing and playing bad to now they're not necessarily playing amazing, but they're winning, which is the most important thing at this stage of the season. Like, deal with how it looks later. Just get the wins.
Yeah.
And I just had a feeling as soon as that first goal that wasn't a goal got disallowed from McAllister when it hits his arm, correct decision, I knew they were going to win. I knew it. I was like, this is such a Liverpool thing. And
We've not seen it in a while, though, have we?
no,
When Liverpool
not
last
since the
minute
start of the season.
Yeah.
When they were winning games late, and that kind of like papered over the cracks that were about to appear for the rest of the season. But I just feel like that is a massive, massive moment in the season for them. Because 97th minute, they're now level with United, level with Chelsea, which, by the way, we really want an Everton win tonight. Really.
I know I do.
You want it, because then you'll win the predictions for the week. And I just want it now, because like forget the predictions, mate. Because Chelsea are in the mud. We are seriously in the mud, aren't we?
Yeah. We'll get to us in a bit. But Liverpool were poor. They clawed it out in just lastminute.com fashion, as Liverpool are very accustomed to. Like I've said, they've not done it for a while. But for Liverpool right now, they need something from somewhere. And they got it. And to be fair, even the first goal that was disallowed, correct decision. The goal that was allowed, correct decision.
Yeah, no, for sure.
Correct decision.
Can't say anything about it.
So, I mean, credit to Forest, because they did actually give somewhat of a good game. We know Vitor Pereira, and things have changed over there a little bit. But just not enough.
They're very profligate. Like I saw a ridiculous stat. They've had like I think 55 shots since their last goal or something,
Oh my God.
which is awful. Like really quite bad.
No one can shoot then.
But they played well, and this is why Tottenham. It's a serious conversation because West Ham are picking up points, so they're closing that gap. Burnley, fair enough, but see you later. Wolves, adios amigos. But for Forest, I think they're too good to be down there. Don't think Forest are going down. They've got some good players and they play good football at times. And I think Pereira's going to make them difficult to play against.
Do you reckon?
Yeah.
I'm wary of all these. Look, whenever a new manager comes in now, I'm wary because new manager bounces and then how long does it go on for? And then you show what you're made of. I reckon there's so much turmoil at Forest as a football club. And, I mean, you'd mistake like Marinakis for probably what's going on in Mexico right now. I mean, bro, like,
Shouldn't laugh, really. It's not funny.
It's outrageous if you've seen what's going on. But I mean, Marinakis and the way the club's being run is, yeah, there's a lot of parallels. I would say, bro. So how long will that manager bounce go on for before I think the cracks reappear? I don't think it'll be very long, I'll be honest. But I do also think that Forest and how they can play, yeah, in the context of what we were talking about, might just edge Tottenham.
I think Forest will beat Spurs at Spurs. I know that's a long way. It's like 3 or 4 weeks away, maybe even a month and a bit.
Would have been good if it was like the next game or so.
Oh, mate, if it was
That
the
would
next
have been
game,
Forest
that
all
would
day
be
long.
done.
Yeah.
I'd stick some money on that, 100%. But should we move on to Chelsea?
Go on then.
Because
Time for
unfortunately, I felt like it was therapy this weekend. Talking about it on camera.
Yeah.
Because if you're a fan watching that, it's just annoying because I know I'm susceptible to this. You get a bit of hope, like for example, beating Napoli. We played well. We were good. Great win. Come back against West Ham. Great second half. This team show us so many reasons why one could be hopeful. But they never deliver. To say never is wrong because we won the Club World Cup and we won the Conference League. So that's not correct. But in terms of actually going from this step of being like a good team that can win enough games to finish somewhere respectable to being a winning team consistently, we can't take the step. It's too high. It's too far away.
This is the problem. And where we are it's just stagnation. Like, this is it.
At this point, yeah, because it's repeat cycle.
It's now it's turning into season in, season out, season in, season out. And my frustration now comes with the opportunity was there after the Club World Cup to level up. Well, we haven't, and we clearly won't. Like, this is it. Do you know what I mean? And that's the frustrating thing. We needed, based on the running that we've got coming up, to get results against Leeds and Burnley. Respectfully, Leeds are a decent side, and they can show up, but we literally handed them on a plate. And with Burnley, I mean, that spoke volumes. That told you everything you needed to know. Because throughout the entire game, and this is like what I said in my review, I thought this is why I did what I did. We shut up for 4 minutes, scored. Thank you very much. See you later, guys. Peace out.
It's an awful mentality.
It's rotten.
But it happens every game.
This is it. It's embedded now.
Every game.
I want to say this, and I want to get you guys' perspective, but I'm looking far here, right?
In the future.
Yeah. See how Tottenham have gone?
Yeah.
Yeah, be careful.
It's a long way away.
It's a very long way away.
They're very bad.
They're seriously bad. But you can't allow this sort of thing to go on for too long. If not, it becomes the norm.
Yeah, and we're talking here, remember, because people kind of misconceive, I think, what we're saying. We are Chelsea fans who believe we should be competing for titles because of the money we've spent and because we're Chelsea.
2 billion spent, bro.
£2 billion is a hell of a lot of money to be this far away. And like, if we're talking about it objectively, if we wouldn't have thrown it against Leeds, wouldn't have thrown it against Burnley, which for me is inconceivable. How we've done this twice in a row is criminal. We'd be 2 points behind Villa. We would have a cushion at the top 4. We'd be chilling.
It's like, do you know the Campos infamous.
How's he got? I'm so interested to hear this.
If my mother had wheels, she would have been a bike. Like,
wow,
that's
I love that. You've actually put a smile on my face.
That's an absolute
I
classic.
didn't know that was possible when talking about Chelsea today.
If you've not seen that Gino De Campo clip, it's a classic on this morning. But this is it. We needed these results. Now look at our running.
It's so daunting, isn't it? Because
And it's not like last season, where last season, like, we had those couple of games and then we ended up finishing off the season with like the 4 games that we needed to get results in. But we've got like 11 games we need to get results in. And it's all like non-stop till the end now. With a Champions League thrown in there too, last 16 tie.
yeah, which will be against Newcastle or PSG.
And an FA Cup tie stuck in there too.
Against Wrexham,
Lovely.
Disney.
So,
For me, the biggest issue is that I feel like it's, and we talk about bad habits for Tottenham. This is an ingrained bad habit for Chelsea. It's the same level of problem, but on a different scale. Like, we're not going to get relegated. We know that. So that's the pretty peak. But our mentality issues, and this is why I'm like, it's so draining as a fan to see so much promise and so much hope and so much positivity on the pitch to constantly be let down by the same things. Concentration. All the time. Bro, these guys won a Club World Cup and all of a sudden think like that's career peak, done. What are you on about? Win the Premier League. Go and try and win the Champions League.
we ain't got what it takes, bro.
They don't. Like, Malo Gusto, I didn't see it at the time. The
Neither
no-look
did I.
pass, bro.
Neither did I.
What are you playing at?
Bro.
It's 1-0. That should be enough in your brain to be like, shit, even if we score another one, we've got to go again.
Look, I think everyone and their mother can see it now. And I'm going to say this. What's painful is it's not even others now. Others are seeing it exactly for what it is. It's some of our own that want to just like think it's not an issue. But everyone can see we lack maturity, we lack experience, winning experience in this team, hands down. It's so obvious.
Yeah.
Because if that sort of thing wouldn't happen, the red cards constantly wouldn't happen. Do you know what I mean? And that Fofana red card, yeah, 2 yellows, they were both yellows, so it's a correct decision.
Yeah, nothing to say about
Nothing
that.
to say. But Gusto, for example, thinking he can do something like that is crazy. The mentality there isn't at the level that it needs to be at because we ain't got those things. When we go back to that point that I mentioned about City, this is what triggered me during the game. That triggered me. When I saw that, I was like, nah, we're shameless. With less than 10 minutes to go, and I see Enzo Fernandez heading off to the corner flag to protect the ball when we're in the 86th minute or something against Burnley at home, protecting a 1-0 lead, and we're doing that.
Because we're down to 10 men and we panic and we don't know what to do.
It's embarrassing.
And the managers don't help us. That's Rossini now. It's on him as well because we've seen this with Maresca. Bringing off Palmer, I think, was the right thing to do because he was having a shocker. But bringing Tosin on for him, what are you doing? Why? This guy makes us worse every time he's on the pitch, regardless of and this is the one thing I wanted to bring up to you. Tosin's getting picked and vindicated purely off of one stat alone. That he has a higher percentage of aerial battles won. But we're talking by less than 10% more than a Josh Achampong. So you're telling me that for that reason alone, you're getting picked every time off the bench, every time for a start. He'll play against Arsenal for that reason. Forgetting all of the other moments of the game where the ball isn't at head height, where he has to deal with things on the floor. Like he could have got, well, it wasn't a foul and it wasn't even a yellow, but he could have got sent off. He's all over the bloke. He can't keep his legs together. He can't move in a straight line. This guy is a problem. He is an absolute huge problem at Chelsea Football Club.
The levels are on the floor. And what's funny is, to return to my point, people look at Tosin and go, oh, but he's experienced. Get out of it, man.
This is the problem.
Get out of it.
This is the problem.
That's not a valid point whatsoever to use. Someone like Tosin. But we got him on a free from Fulham.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And that's the only reason why we got him in, because he's of that age, because he's free.
And this is the annoying bit. When we get 10, 15, 20 million for him, which we might do if we're smart and try and sell him, the deal will look like a smart deal.
Yeah,
because on the books, it will be like, oh, well, look at the money we made on this guy. Technically speaking, even though you've paid him wages, whatever.
Yeah.
But what you get in the middle of all of that is a couple of Conference League goals, a goal in the FA Cup, and countless errors.
Yeah.
Not to write Andre Santos off of his mistake, because it was his man. But again, like, if you're bringing on defender, we've seen this before.
100%, bro.
Every time this happens, what are you doing? You're inviting pressure on against Burnley. And you were right in your review. They were awful. They did
poor,
not
man.
play well.
They were shocking.
We were just...
They were
yeah.
shocking, bro. Burnley were pants. With all due respect, they played like 19th place Burnley in their grave.
Exactly.
They actually did. And we still just... There you go, lads. Go on.
But the problem I have is Fofana, his red card, now he misses Arsenal. Now what do we do? Because
Pray.
he will pick Tosin. He will. He'll look at that Arsenal game last night and be like, God, Victor Gyökeres is a handful, isn't he? We need someone big and strong out there. The bold decision against Arsenal is actually to pick Achampong and Sarr. Sarr is so comfortable on the ball. Achampong is tall. So you need a mixture of those two things. I wouldn't even pick Trev. Because I don't think I'd trust Trev alongside Tosin. I think
No.
when Tosin's on the pitch with Trev becomes Tosin. Or a level above Tosin.
Trev becomes is a byproduct of whoever's next to him.
Yes.
And this is what we have. Like, that's all we've got. That screams volumes. Like, that tells you everything you need to know about the levels, especially in our defence.
And Rossini is saying, like, he's telling us that it was someone who didn't pick up their man without digging that one player out. The problem is, right, from Chelsea's recruitment perspective, we have always had someone, whether it's Drogba, Silva, Terry. We don't have organisational problems in, like, big moments in games. Because somebody is there to make sure that he's there, you're there, that's your man, that's your man. And Chelsea seem to forget all of these things. And not to dig Reece James into this here, but he's not the most vocal leader. He's a good captain, but he isn't the guy who's going to be screaming at you on the pitch.
He got brought off.
Exactly. Makes no sense to me.
Because we need him for Arsenal. I mean, it's just...
In 8 days' time. What are we playing at?
It's exhausting. It's just exhausting.
It actually is at
It's
this point.
exhausting. Like, it's just it's ridiculous. The way that we function, what we prioritize, some of the excuses we make, it's a joke. The whole thing's a joke. And even going to, another point is that somehow, even after the amount of money we've spent and what the resources we're meant to have, there's still an over-reliance on someone like Cole Palmer, who did play poor. But it's like that's all we've got. Do you know what I mean? And if you take him away, then what? It's like when he's there and he's playing poor, I see so much attention towards Cole Palmer. I'm like, well, hello, what about everyone else? If it wasn't for him, and we all know, the reason why I say this is because everyone knows he's not 100%. He's already come out publicly and said, I'm not 100%.
Yeah.
So the fact that we're actually over-relying on someone like him who's not 100% because we really ain't got a choice, after $2 billion spent, screams volumes.
I think it was also about mental sharpness, though, too, because quite often
Big time.
Cole Palmer is the guy that can see the obvious pass. Like, there were a couple of times where he's running with the ball, he's broken past the Burnley press, and you got Neto there, Enzo there, and he makes the simple pass to Neto because it looks like he wants to pass back, whereas the right pass is the defenders are going that way. Enzo Fernandez is by himself that way. Defenders are totally off balance. You give the ball to Enzo, and you're Cole Palmer, you know where he is. But it feels to me like he was playing a little bit for himself at times, which I don't like that from Palmer. I think that's got to stop.
Yeah, let the games begin, basically, for Chelsea. Let the games begin.
Yeah. The frustrating thing, I think, for me, to sum it up, is we're in the same position again, another year on. So people, and I know that you said this very well, I think, in your video, people complaining about negativity and whatnot, but, like, there's standards. People will be happy that we get Champions League football, and that will be it.
Exactly.
because there's no desire to push further. I personally want to be challenging for the Premier League. We're not challenging for the Premier League.
No.
So when will we?
And this is my problem, and because we're Chelsea fans, we watch Chelsea much more. Obviously, we watch everyone, but we know what's going on more in Chelsea than anywhere else. When your ambition is set at only getting top 4 for financial reasons, then it's no surprise that that's the tone that's set across the entire football club.
Yeah.
And as fans, we obviously want more because we're accustomed to more, and we've seen us do more, and we want to be able to compete at that level, especially with the resources that we have. Problem is, we can't just accept where we are and what we're doing for the sake of it. We should demand more. And when we see the club not operating on that level, we should call it out. Simple as that.
Facts. But let's move into another team who didn't capitalise this weekend. They're now 10 points behind Arsenal, vindicating our decision last week to remove Aston Villa from the title race. And thank you very much for proving us correct on that one. Aston Villa drew 1-1 against Leeds United, by the way. And this will lead us into what we're going to talk about in tomorrow's video, about how it feels like great goals are just like a thing of the past in terms of like how many of them we get.
Mate, I know where you're going with this because that Leeds goal was stupendous, bro.
What a free kick.
Mate, there's a couple of videos that I've seen go around lately on the last couple of days, right? There's the 2000s Premier League songs.
Yeah, I shared that. It's the best video I've seen in a long time. DJ Tony something.
Yeah.
Class.
That was fantastic.
Yeah.
And there was another clip of this guy narrating, this Cockney geezer, narrating over why players don't shoot from distance anymore. You know? And like, why is it players don't hit it on the flipping volley anymore? Like, they just don't do all these things, right? That goal that Leeds scored from that far out, he bent it like, do you know what it reminded me of? Even though now I think about it, I don't really know why it did. But do you remember Rooney when he scored his first goal for Everton against Arsenal?
Yes.
Although that was a bit closer.
Yeah, I know. I can see that.
But it was like a stretched out version of that goal.
That's actually
from like 35 yards out.
I'm fully with you, though. I hope everyone's with you.
Yeah,
because I fully see that.
Yeah. It was hit the same, and it's bent in the same, but from a further distance. To do it from that far out is crazy.
I think that's one of the best goals I've seen this season.
Hands
to be
down.
fair, it's a fantastic free kick, and shout out to Bosley too. They've had a couple of good free kicks recently.
Yeah.
But Leeds, this is a good result for them.
You were right. You said they would show up, and
I thought. Do you know what? I thought I said 1-1, but I said 2-2.
you did say 2-2.
Which is really annoying because in my head I was like, oh, I got that one. But no, it was close. I got a point for it. But Villa, it's doing what I thought it was going to do. It's just kind of just like, it's not disintegrating because that's unfair. It's not capitulating because that's also not what it is. But it's just falling short again. They don't have the legs for the race.
They're lucky they clawed out what they clawed out.
Yeah.
I mean, they'll be happy to take a point considering the way that they played. And fair play to Tammy Abraham. Mate, he's scoring goals.
Yeah, no, he's doing well.
He's doing really well. But in this Aston Villa team that are not really playing well and getting results, whenever they do score, it seems to be Tammy.
Yeah.
So, fair play. Welcome back, Tammy. And
he's done it there before too, so I think this is actually the best move for him.
Familiarity.
Yeah.
I agree. But they'd be counting their blessings that they actually picked up a point because it could have been worse.
Yeah. Leeds look very organised. They'll be safe now. They've got a nice cushion too.
They do. No, Leeds are in a good position now, I think, especially when we're talking relegation or whatnot. I think Leeds are fine. But Aston Villa, weirdly enough, because of the teams below them, right, and obviously we've still got Man United to play, but because of the teams below, they've still got a cushion. So Aston Villa somehow still have a lifeline to get their acts together if they really want to nail in Champions League football.
And don't worry, because we will keep dropping points for you so that you don't get chased.
Don't worry, Villa. We still got to come to Villa Park, so...
Oh, mate.
It's fine.
Honestly, it'd be so Chelsea to show up in both of those games, though, wouldn't it? But I don't know. We'll save that for the predictions.
Yeah.
Because we've got a big one. We got this weekend's Premier League prediction is going to be humongous.
It's going to be crazy.
And then we've got midweek Prem. Let's move. Sunderland 1, Fulham 3.
You nailed this as well.
What
did you say? You said 2-1.
2-1.
Yeah. When I saw Fulham score that third goal, I was like, whoa, bloody hell. Because, yeah, you did say Fulham would show up. and that Sunderland would falter a little bit. And
That was so weird. Did you see that? Someone just like the handle of the door just went down.
I heard
but
it.
no one moved. I don't know what's going on there. Oh well.
The ghost of Christmas past.
It's-
Our poor visit.
It's the ghost of the Tottenham grave, bro. It's Ange Postecoglou coming back for his payments. But no, this is a fantastic win for Fulham. Long way to go. Great away day. If you're a Fulham fan who's taken the trip to Sunderland in a cold February afternoon, and they dispatched of them. It wasn't the most convincing dominance, but they just got the job done. Raul Jimenez scoring penalties left, right, and centre. And this is Fulham now are one of those teams, I think, who when you look at the table, they're 10th. They are 3 points off of 7th. Fulham are one of those teams that could either end up having the last 5 games of the season with nothing to play for, or they can take it upon themselves now to go on a charge for Europe. Because I look above them, Everton, Bournemouth, Brentford. They're the ones that they could feasibly chase. I don't see consistent quality left, right and centre from any of those teams. I think Fulham are one of the best of those bunch.
You're not wrong. In terms of how they can actually play, the players that they've got, how they should be operating. Fulham have now gotten themselves into form that they should have been in from the very beginning. Do you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
that's Fulham have had a portion of the season where it's just been like, what are you guys doing? Despite playing all right, they just didn't get the results. Now it looks like they're actually picking up results. This is an impressive away day because Sunderland are no mugs at home, but Sunderland now look like they've dropped some intensity.
It's got to where I thought it would be. At this, like,
I don't
maybe
know if
at
it's
the start.
fatigue, is it tiredness? I don't know, but they're dropping. They're not holding the same urgency as they did for the first half of the season.
This is kind of leading into what I wanted to talk about tomorrow too, about like how the money is the driving factor now, not where you are in the league. That it's like where you are in the table and what that means when you look at the table is a byproduct of how much money you make.
True.
If this makes sense.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
Sunderland at one point, they were in a European race. The moment they fell out of the European race, it's like, oh, we can't do it now anyway, and we're safe, so whatever. Foot off the gas, doesn't matter now. What's the difference between...
Considering that they were newly promoted.
Yeah.
Yeah, they'll take that all day long.
Which kind of, that's flawed what I just said, because we'll talk about this tomorrow. But, like, the higher up you finish, the more money you get. But for Sunderland, I think they hit the ceiling. And now it's kind of just... equilibrium is bringing them back to reality a little bit. Like, you're not a top half team, probably.
Yeah.
But you've done well enough to be okay. So fair play.
It's ironic when you look to the start of the season. Sunderland, Bournemouth, Palace. All of them have fallen off.
That's so true.
It's mad.
In some of them worse than others.
Some of them, I mean, Sunderland have fallen off in the way that was expected. The other two collapsed, but yeah.
Big time.
So fair play to Fulham, great result. And Sunderland, I'm curious to see how they're going to finish the season. They're going to find something from somewhere because they've got the quality for it. I think. I just don't know if they've got the intensity for it.
I wonder how many points will be good enough for safety this year.
At this rate,
I don't know if 40's going to do it. Maybe it does. Maybe it doesn't. It might not. 40's always good, but it's
no,
tight.
I think it will. There are teams there that I don't see getting another 15 points.
Tottenham.
Like, if I'm honest, with 11 games left, so maybe 40 might be all right. Maybe.
Well, let's move into a big shock of the weekend. Actually, I really did not see this coming. Brentford 0, Brighton 2.
That was a shock.
This came out of nowhere. Brighton have been really poor. Gomez, Welbeck with the goals, and Brentford have been on a great little run. But this is what I mean about consistency. Brentford don't have it to be like, yeah, we're not gonna lose for 7 league games in a row. Whereas this is just a bit of a fluke result, I think, because Brighton have been seriously falling.
This is the history of the Prem.
Yes.
So with this, I get the vibe from this game that Brentford are just like, look, we've had a couple of really strong results. We're on a high, we'll be fine. And it's just, I think, that level of complacency that kicks in naturally in these sort of games where you think you've got it under control. those are the games that will bite you. Sometimes you'll kind of come across, especially at home, you'll come across teams where you look and you go, yeah, we got this. Worst way to go into a game.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden you can see that first goal, you start panicking. You're like, didn't expect this. Flipping out, what's going on? Head's gone. Brighton have quality, but you're right. They've not shown it lately. There's a first for everything, though.
We're at that point in this Premier League roundup today. Let's move on.
So fair play, Brighton.
Well done, Brighton. You did it. Palace 1, Wolves 0. There's a phrase in football which I think is one of the best and worst. It's like the phrase, it is what it is. You know, it means nothing but everything at the same time.
Yeah.
Great phrase.
It is what it is.
It is what it is. A game of two halves. But the problem with Wolves is, when they have their half, they still don't do anything. Wolves are all over Palace. They got a penalty. Bruv, he's clearly had a bet on himself missing a penalty. Like, what is that? Like, this is why you'll be in League One in 2 years' time. Because that is such a bad penalty. Henderson is a very good penalty shot stopper, by the way. So, Henderson I'm confident with. If it's Henderson or Pickford for the World Cup, I think we're good when it comes to pens. Touch wood.
Yeah.
Touch it a few times.
Don't want to see pens, but go on.
But yeah, Wolves awful in the first half. Palace turned it on a bit in the second half. Left it late.
Yeah.
Evan Gessand, who was... do you know what? I didn't even know he was at Palace. Because didn't he go to Villa for like 40 million or big money or something? And now he's scoring for Palace, which I didn't ever anticipate.
He's
I
not,
missed that
he's
one.
not on loan or anything, is he? Or...
I don't know if he's on loan or if they bought him. But like that completely bypassed my Premier League transfer radar, mate. I didn't know that happened.
He's the one that got away.
He's the one that got away.
I mean, routine for Palace, isn't it?
Yeah.
Despite playing badly,
I'll say this, you got a point here. If Wolves would have just scored their flipping penalty, I'd have got this spot on.
You would have.
We wouldn't even have been arguing about who starts the video at the start of the video.
No.
Which was an hour ago, by the way. This is a long episode.
This is.
Do you guys like these long ones, or just let us know if you do? Like, because this has been great. I've thoroughly enjoyed this. It's going to wrap up very quickly now, though.
Yeah.
Because West Ham 0, Bournemouth 0. Like, there's a reason we left this one last. If we'd have talked about this for 20 minutes at the start, I promise you wouldn't be here.
No, you would have kicked off.
You would have been off.
But West Ham, Bournemouth. It's similar to what I said in the preview as well. Bit of a cancelling each other out.
Much of a muchness.
Yeah.
Boring.
Just dead.
It was dead as well.
Dead.
It just was dead.
But you know what? It's weirdly enough, it's a decent result for both of them.
I don't know. I think it's a bad result for West Ham.
Do you think?
I think in context to where they should be.
Yeah, where they should be.
Like, if they would have got a win here, they'd have been level with Forest, 2 behind Spurs, and then we're talking about 1 weekend away from Tottenham in the relegation zone, potentially. So for the narrative, cheers West Ham for really wrapping this video up for us in like a very melancholy way. But like, if you want to stay in the Premier League, you've got to beat Bournemouth at home at this point of the season.
The only reason why I say that is because West Ham was so far off for quite some time, picked themselves up a little bit, and now they're facing Bournemouth, who have actually been in decent form.
Bournemouth have rectified themselves.
Yeah,
They
for a
were
little
almost
while.
we're almost starting to pick up the phone and order the grave for Bournemouth.
But exactly. This is why, like, if I had to look at a team in this fixture, I would have looked at, like, if someone's got to take something, I would have probably edged it towards Bournemouth. This is why I look at this and go, all right, West Ham, look, it's 0-0, it's dead. Could be worse.
Could be worse. So I think you can say that about a lot of teams right now.
Yeah.
Arsenal might not be the best champions we ever see, but, you know, could be worse. Tottenham, it really could be worse. Wolves,
Nah, can't be worse.
Can't be worse.
Nah.
We will see you tomorrow back on ShootOut again. And then, of course, as we wrap up towards the rest of this week, no midweek football, which, to be honest, I'm actually kind of happy about that. I feel like I need a break after that Burnley game. I just don't want to watch football for a couple of days. But we will be back on Thursday with Premier League predictions. See you all there.